Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep today, but this time it's all about you.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we're going to unlock that power of self-focus. And I'm so excited for this one. We'll figure out why self-focus is the real key to a life that really feels right. How to ditch those doubts that just kind of keep creeping in and holding you back, and even how to make those small steps feel huge, like rocket fuel for your dreams.
Mm.
Get ready for a serious energy boost.
I think a lot of times people get caught up on the idea that focusing on yourself is selfish.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we've almost been conditioned to believe that we need to put everyone else first.
Right.
But, if you're running on empty, how can you really show up for anyone else?
Yeah, it's true.
I think taking care of yourself is the bedrock. It's the foundation for everything else that you want to do, every relationship you value.
It really is. It's like you can't build a house on sand, right?
Yeah.
You need that solid foundation first. I love how you put that.
Yeah.
It makes me think about how often we pressure ourselves to be everything for everybody else, and then we wonder why we feel so burnt out and resentful.
Right. And that's the thing. It's not about becoming some, self-absorbed hermit or anything like that. This is about understanding that when you invest in your own well-being, so mental, physical, emotional health, you actually become more capable of
Yeah.
showing up for the people that you love, for your work, and even those causes you care about.
So ditch the guilt trip. Realize that self-care, it's not selfish. It's the opposite. But what about those times when we really just don't feel like we have the time or energy? Life is busy.
Life is busy. It really is. But let's imagine this. You're given this incredible opportunity. It's a chance to do something that you've always dreamed of, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to say, no, I'm too busy?
No.
Or are you going to find a way? That's how we need to approach our own growth.
I like that. We made time for what matters. So how do we start shifting our mindsets to believe that we're even worthy of that time and investment in ourselves in the first place?
Well, I think this is where things get exciting. It's about cultivating what's called a growth mindset.
Okay.
And it's this understanding that you're not fixed, you're not stuck. You actually have this capacity to continuously learn, evolve, and become something more than you are today.
So it's not about being perfect right now, but believing that we can be better.
Think of it like this. Every skill that you have, every talent, it started at zero. I mean, you had to learn how to walk.
Yeah.
You learned how to talk. You learned how to read.
Right.
Because you believed in this ability to grow. So just apply that same thinking to everything else. You are capable of so much more than you realize.
I love this. This is already making me feel like I could take on the world. It's like giving ourselves permission to dream bigger.
Absolutely. And it's not just about dreaming. It's about backing it up with action.
Right.
Setting clear, specific goals that make you feel like you're on a mission, something that lights you up.
Okay, so speaking of action, I think this is a great place for us to transition into some practical advice. So once we have that growth mindset going, what are some steps we can take to actually start improving?
Well, the first thing is first, you need a plan.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be clear. It's almost like plotting a course on a map. Where are you now and where do you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now? And what are those milestones you need to hit along the way?
So specific goals broken down into smaller steps.
Yeah.
I like that, like a visual.
Yeah.
Makes it seem less overwhelming.
And don't just keep these locked away up in your head. Write
Yeah.
them down, make them real, post them places you'll see them every day. Because here's a little secret. Just the act of writing them down sends this powerful signal to your brain that you're serious about achieving them.
Oh, that's so interesting.
It's like a contract.
It is. It's like a contract with yourself.
Exactly. And every time you see those goals written down, it reminds you what you're working towards.
Right.
It keeps you focused. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you accountable. It's that constant nudge in the direction of your dreams.
I love that. Those goals, like little beacons guiding us along the way.
Yeah.
So once we have our roadmap, what are some key areas we should be focusing on?
Well, this is where we can kind of tailor it to you.
Okay.
But some universal areas to consider are how can you nurture your mind? So maybe it's reading more, maybe taking a course, learning new language, whatever.
Yeah.
How can you strengthen your body?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's trying a new workout routine, getting more sleep, just incorporating more movement into your day.
This is where I need to work on the sleeping more thing.
Don't we all?
I think we all do.
But don't forget about that emotional well-being. What practices can you kind of incorporate to manage stress, to kind of like cultivate that inner peace, become more resilient? Maybe that's meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones.
Yeah. So it's a very holistic approach.
It is.
Mind, body, and spirit all working together.
Working
I
together.
love that.
And remember, consistency is key.
Yeah.
It's not about making those giant leaps overnight. It's those small, sustainable changes that you can actually stick with over time.
Right.
It's building those daily habits that over time create a ripple effect, transforming your life in ways that you never thought possible. It really is. It's like you don't expect to get ripped after one workout.
Right. Exactly.
It's about showing up consistently and pushing yourself just a little bit further each time and trusting the process.
So true. And speaking of pushing ourselves,
Mhm.
how do we deal with those times when we just, get hit with self-doubt? We
Yeah.
feel like giving up or like we're not good enough.
Well, first of all, just recognize that everybody has those moments.
Yeah,
It's part of being human.
it is.
But here's the thing. You don't have to let those thoughts control you. You can choose to challenge those negative thoughts.
How do we do that?
Yeah.
Because sometimes those thoughts feel so real and so powerful.
Well, it starts with just being aware of that inner critic,
Yeah.
that voice inside that whispers all those fears and doubts.
Oh, yeah.
Once you can identify it, you can start to question it. So ask yourself, is what it's saying even true?
Right.
Or is it just like a distorted perception? Is this a limiting belief that's holding you back?
I love that. It's like those thoughts, they're almost trying to keep us safe.
Yeah.
But that's not where the magic happens.
That's not where the magic happens. You got it. True growth is when we step outside those comfort zones, we dare to try new things, to
Oh.
challenge ourselves, even to fail and learn from those failures.
Okay, so embrace the discomfort because on the other side is where the real transformation lies.
You got it. And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Oh, that's good.
Surround yourself with people who support your growth,
Yeah.
people who believe in you, people who cheer you on. Find mentors, join communities, connect with people who are on that same journey of self-discovery.
It really does make a world of difference to have that support system.
Yeah.
It's like a team of cheerleaders in your corner reminding you how strong you are and your potential.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of celebrating those wins along the way.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you reach a goal, no matter how small, acknowledge it. Give yourself some credit for that effort, the dedication, the perseverance.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in what we haven't accomplished yet, but just taking that time to celebrate even the small wins.
Yes.
What a powerful motivator.
It's like recognizing how far you've come. It fuels your fire, reinforces that belief in yourself, and gives you that extra boost to keep going.
Speaking of fuel, I think this is a good time to talk about the practical side of self-care.
Yeah.
It's not just bubble baths and face masks, right?
No, absolutely. It's about taking care of your whole being, mind, body, and spirit,
Okay.
nourishing yourself on every level.
I like that.
So yes, absolutely, those things can be included, but also things like getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, moving your body, and creating a supportive environment for yourself.
So it's about creating a life that supports your well-being from the inside out.
Exactly. Think about it like tending to a garden.
Ooh, I like this.
You need to provide the right soil, the right nutrients, the right amount of sunlight and water for those plants to thrive. Your life is your garden. What are you doing to nourish and cultivate it?
Such a great analogy. It makes me think about how much power we have
Yeah.
over creating that supportive life that we actually want.
And part of that is becoming aware of those things that drain your energy, the things that are holding you back,
Yeah.
the things that are no longer serving you. It might be, toxic relationships, or it might be negative self-talk or limiting beliefs or even just bad habits.
So it's not just about adding good things in. It's also about being brave enough to let go of those things
Yes.
that aren't serving us anymore.
It's creating space for growth and for new possibilities.
I love that.
It's about becoming the CEO of your own life and making those choices that align with those values and goals that you set.
That's so powerful. It makes me think about the power of saying no to things that don't really fit into that vision
Yeah.
that we have for ourselves.
The power of no is incredible. It's about setting those boundaries and protecting your energy and prioritizing what truly matters.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming your time and using it to build that life that you want.
This reminds me of what you said earlier about setting clear goals. But how do we even know what those should be? What if we're just feeling lost and we're not sure what we want?
That's where self-awareness comes in. It's about taking the time to really get to know yourself. Your strengths, your weaknesses, passions, values. It's about connecting with that inner voice,
Yeah.
that wise part of you that knows what's best.
So it's tuning in to our intuition, our gut, that can help us figure out what's right for us.
Yeah, and remember, it's a journey. It's not a destination. So self-awareness is something that you cultivate over time
Mhm.
through reflection, through journaling, through meditation, even just simply paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors.
So it's an ongoing process of discovery,
Yes.
peeling back the layers and getting to know ourselves.
As you do that, those goals will become clearer.
Right.
You'll start to see what lights you up, what makes you feel alive, what gives you that purpose and that fulfillment.
Uncovering those hidden treasures within ourselves,
Yes.
those passions, those dreams.
And once you've got those goals in sight, it's time to take action. Action is what bridges that gap between your dreams and reality. It's what takes you from where you are to where you want to be.
But what about when we feel overwhelmed and stuck? When we kind of know what to do, but just can't seem to get started?
Oh, I love that you said that
Yeah.
because it's something we all experience.
Right.
First of all, give yourself some grace. It's okay to feel overwhelmed and stuck sometimes.
Yeah.
It's part of the process, but don't let those feelings paralyze you.
Right.
Instead, just break those goals down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay, so instead of trying to climb the whole mountain at once,
Exactly.
focus on just taking one step.
Exactly. Focus on the next right action. The one thing you can do right now
Love it.
to move forward. And remember, progress over perfection.
Yeah.
It's not about doing everything perfectly.
Yeah.
It's about making consistent effort, even if it's just a little bit each day.
So it's about showing up consistently, even when it's hard,
Yeah.
even when we just don't feel like it.
Because that's where the real magic happens. That's where you build resilience. That's where you develop discipline. That's where you create lasting change.
This makes me think about the importance of mindset.
Hmm.
Our thoughts can either empower us or hold us back, right?
Mindset is everything.
Yeah.
It's the lens through which you see the world, and it really does shape your reality. So if
Yeah.
you want to create a life of growth and fulfillment, you got to cultivate a positive and an empowering mindset.
But what if you're just naturally a more pessimistic person? Can you really change your mindset?
Absolutely. Your mindset is not fixed.
Okay, good.
It's like a muscle that you can train and strengthen
I like that.
over time.
So how do we do that? How do we train our minds to be more positive?
It starts by just being aware of your self-talk.
Yeah.
Those thoughts that are running through your head all day long, are they mostly positive or mostly negative? Are they supporting your growth or are they holding you back? And once you are aware of those thoughts, you can start to challenge and reframe them.
So instead of saying, I can't do this,
Yeah.
say, I'm going to try my best or I'm learning and growing.
Exactly. It's about shifting your language,
Okay.
shifting your perspective, and ultimately your beliefs about yourself and what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And it takes practice, but the more you do it, the more natural it's going to become.
This reminds me of the power of affirmations.
Yeah.
Repeating those positive statements to ourselves can actually reprogram our subconscious minds.
Right. Affirmations are a powerful tool. They're like little seeds that you're planting.
I love that.
And over time, they grow into these really powerful beliefs that shape your reality.
Choose those affirmations that resonate with us.
Yes.
Write them down, repeat them,
Yeah.
and just watch how it all transforms.
Yes. And don't forget the power of gratitude. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it shifts your entire perspective. It helps you to see the good in your life, even when things are tough.
Gratitude really is like a superpower. It can instantly change your mood.
Yeah.
So what are some ways we can cultivate more gratitude in our lives?
Well, it can be as simple as keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down just 3 things that you're grateful for, big or small. But the key is to really savor those moments of gratitude,
Yeah.
to really feel that appreciation.
So it's not just about listing things, it's about that feeling of gratitude.
Exactly. And another really powerful practice is expressing that gratitude to others. Let people know how much you appreciate them. Tell them what you admire about them, Thank them for their support, acknowledge their strengths. Not only will that make them feel good, but it's also going to amplify those feelings within yourself as well.
Sharing it multiplies it. I love that.
And here's another little secret. Gratitude's contagious.
Oh, that's good.
When you express it to others, it inspires them to do the same. So by practicing gratitude, you're not only improving your own life,
Yeah.
you're making the world a more positive and a more appreciative place.
Creating a ripple effect.
A ripple effect of goodness. Now, let's talk about another really crucial aspect of self-care.
Okay.
Setting boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries.
They are essential for protecting your time, energy, and well-being.
Right.
It's about knowing what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not.
Yeah.
And communicating that very clearly to others.
Boundaries are like those invisible fences
Yes.
that protect our personal space, our energy.
Exactly. And it's not selfish.
No, it's no.
It's about respecting yourself and your needs.
Yeah.
If you don't have boundaries, people will constantly overstep those boundaries, and it will leave you feeling drained, resentful, and overwhelmed.
Right.
So, how do you set effective boundaries?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, it starts with getting clear on what your values and your priorities are.
Go.
What is truly important to you? What are you willing to compromise on? And what are your non-negotiables?
So know yourself well enough to know where to draw those lines in the sand.
Exactly. And remember, setting boundaries is a skill and it takes practice. It's okay to start small.
Yeah.
Maybe it's saying no to one extra commitment this week, or maybe it's setting aside 30 minutes each day for yourself without any distractions.
So it's building up that boundary muscle,
Yes.
just like we talked about with self-discipline and mindset.
Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the power of visualization.
Ooh, I like this.
Visualization is such a powerful tool for creating the life that you desire.
I've heard about this.
It's about using the power of your imagination to actually see, feel, and experience your goals as if they've already happened.
I know athletes use it a lot
Yes.
to improve their performance.
Exactly. And it's not just for athletes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Anybody can use visualization to achieve goals, whether it's in their personal life, in their careers, any area, really.
So how does it work? Is it just about daydreaming?
It's much more than daydreaming. It's about creating a vivid, multisensory experience in your mind.
Yeah.
It's about seeing yourself achieve those goals,
Yeah.
feeling the emotions that are associated with that achievement,
Oh, wow.
even hearing the sounds, smelling the scents that would be present in that moment.
So engage all our senses.
The more real you can make it,
Yeah.
the more powerful it will be. And the more you practice visualization, the more you'll start to believe those goals are achievable.
Yeah.
And the more motivated you'll be to take action towards them.
Creating that blueprint for success.
It is like a blueprint. Now, let's talk about another really powerful tool for personal growth: mentorship. Having a mentor can be an incredible asset on your journey. A mentor is somebody who has been where you want to go, somebody who can offer that guidance, support, and encouragement along the way.
They're like those wise guides that help us navigate those uncharted territories. Right?
Exactly. They offer valuable insights. They can share their experiences. They challenge you to think differently.
Right.
They connect you with opportunities you might not have otherwise found.
So how do we find a mentor? Do we just walk up to somebody we admire
Yeah.
and ask them to mentor us?
It doesn't have to be that formal.
Okay.
Just start by identifying people that you admire, people who embody those qualities that you want to develop in yourself. Maybe it's somebody in your field. Maybe it's a friend or a family member or somebody that you follow online.
So it could be someone we know personally or
Yeah.
somebody we admire from afar.
Reach out to them. Express your admiration for their work. And ask if they'd be willing to share some insights or advice. You might be surprised by how many people are willing to help.
And even if they can't commit to like a formal mentorship,
Yeah.
they might be able to offer some words of wisdom or
Exactly.
connect us with someone who can.
Now let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth: self-reflection.
Yeah.
Self-reflection is about taking the time to look inward, to examine your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors.
Okay.
It's about understanding your motivations, your patterns, strengths, and weaknesses.
So it's like holding up a mirror to ourselves
Exactly.
and getting an honest look at who we are.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool for growth
Right.
because it allows you to identify those areas that need improvement. You can learn from your mistakes and make conscious choices that align with those values and goals.
How do we practice self-reflection effectively? Is it just about thinking about our day?
Well, there are many ways. Journaling is a great tool. Take some time each day to write down your thoughts and feelings. Reflect on your experiences and ask yourself some tough questions.
What kind of tough question?
Ask yourself, what went well today? What could I have done better? What am I grateful for? What am I learning? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my values? What are my goals?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
By asking those questions regularly,
Right.
you will start to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and what makes you tick.
It's like peeling back the layers and getting to the core of who we are.
Another really powerful practice is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing those thoughts, feelings, sensations without getting caught up in them.
So it's about being present in the here and now rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future.
Exactly. And mindfulness can be practiced anytime and anywhere.
Okay.
You can practice it while you're eating, walking, showering, or just sitting and breathing.
It's about bringing awareness to those everyday moments that we usually just kind of let pass us by.
The more you practice it, the more you will start to notice patterns in your thoughts and behaviors.
Right.
You will become more aware of your triggers, your reactions, and the things that cause you stress.
That self-awareness is so important because then we can start to make different choices
Yeah.
rather than just reacting automatically.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about another crucial element of personal growth. Taking care of your physical health.
Yes, so important.
Your physical health is the foundation for everything else in your life. When you are physically healthy, you just have more energy.
Right.
You're more focused, you're more resilient,
Yeah,
you're better able to handle stress.
like taking care of your car. If you don't maintain it, it's going to break down, right?
Exactly. Your body is your vehicle for life.
I love that.
So take care of it, eat nutritious food, get enough sleep, move your body regularly, avoid unhealthy habits.
This doesn't mean we have to become marathon runners or eat kale all day long, does it?
No, it's about finding what works for you,
Yeah.
making small, sustainable changes that you can stick with over time.
Okay.
It's about listening to your body and giving it what it needs to thrive.
So it's all about finding that balance between enjoying life and taking care of ourselves.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the importance of continuous learning.
I like this one.
In today's world, it is more important than ever to be a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
The world is constantly evolving, and if you are not constantly learning and growing, you're going to quickly fall behind.
It's like we're all students in the school of life,
Exactly.
always learning.
Always evolving. And the beautiful thing is there are so many ways to learn and grow these days.
Right.
You know, you can read books, take courses online, attend workshops, listen to podcasts, watch documentaries, connect with experts in your field.
The world of knowledge at our fingertips.
Exactly. So make a commitment to continuous learning. Set aside time each day or each week to learn something new. Explore new subjects, develop new skills, and expand your horizons.
I love that. The more you learn, the more you grow.
You do.
The more opportunities open up.
Now, let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth.
Yeah.
Managing your time effectively. Time is our most precious resource.
It is.
And yet, so many of us waste it on things that don't truly matter.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty of that sometime.
We get so caught up in the busyness of life
Yeah.
that we forget to prioritize what is truly important. So the key is to become intentional about how you're spending your time. Start by tracking your time. Keep a time log for a week or two.
Oh, yeah.
And see where your time's actually going. You might be surprised by what you discover.
It's like shining a light on our habits.
Exactly.
And seeing where we're leaking time and energy.
Once you know where your time's going, then you can start making changes. Identify your time wasters.
Yeah.
Eliminate or reduce them. Set clear priorities and schedule your day around those priorities. Learn to say no to things that don't align with those goals.
So it's about taking control of our time rather than letting it control us.
And remember, time management is not about being busy all the time.
No.
It's about being productive and effective.
Yeah.
It's about creating a life that's fulfilling and sustainable.
So working smarter, not harder.
Now, let's talk about another crucial element of personal growth. Building resilience. Resilience is that ability to bounce back from adversity,
Right.
to cope with challenges, and keep going even when things get tough.
Life is full of ups and downs.
It is.
And if you're not resilient, those downs can knock you off course.
Exactly. So how do we build resilience? Well, it starts with cultivating a positive mindset. So when you face challenges,
Yeah.
focus on what you can control
Right.
rather than what you can't.
So it's focusing on solutions, not dwelling on problems.
Another really important aspect of resilience is self-care. When you take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally,
Yeah.
you're better equipped to handle stress and adversity.
It's like building up our inner strength so that we can weather those storms.
And don't forget the power of connection.
Yeah.
When you have strong relationships,
Yes.
you've got a support system
Right.
to lean on
Yeah.
when times get tough. So nurture those relationships with your family, friends, and community.
Having that support system really does make a world of difference. It's like having a safety net to catch us when we fall.
Now let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth. Embracing failure.
Mhm.
I know this might sound counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but failure is actually an essential part of growth.
It's like they say, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Every successful person has failed multiple times.
Yeah.
The difference is they didn't let those failures define them. They learned from them, they grew from them, and they kept going.
So it's seeing failure as an opportunity to learn and to get better, not a sign of weakness.
And remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey.
I love that.
So embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward.
It reminds me of that whole growth mindset. We can always
Yes.
learn and improve.
Now let's talk about another powerful tool for personal growth, setting intentions.
Okay.
An intention is a clear statement of what you want to create or experience in your life. It's a declaration of your purpose, your goals, and your values.
Intentions are like those guiding stars
Yes.
that help us stay on track.
So how do we set powerful intentions? Well, it starts with getting clear on what you really want. What do you want to create? What do you want to experience? What kind of person do you want to become?
So it's connecting with our deepest desires.
Once you're clear on those intentions, write them down and make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
So make them real.
Make them real.
Make them actionable.
And don't just write them down and forget about them.
Right.
Review them regularly. Visualize yourself living in alignment with those intentions.
Yeah.
And take action to make them a reality.
Integrating them into our lives.
Now, let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth. Developing your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others.
Yeah.
It's about being aware of your emotions, being able to regulate them, and being able to empathize with others.
So it's about being both self-aware and other-aware.
Exactly. And emotional intelligence is a skill that can be developed through practice.
Okay, good.
So start by paying attention to your own emotions. Notice how you feel in different situations and try to identify the triggers that are causing those emotions.
It's like becoming an observer of our own emotional landscape.
Exactly. And once you're more aware of your own emotions, you can start to work on regulating them.
Okay.
This means finding healthy ways to cope with stress, anger, sadness, and other challenging emotions.
So it's about finding healthy outlets for those emotions,
Yeah.
rather than letting them control us.
Exactly. And the more you practice managing your own emotions, the better you'll become at understanding and empathizing with the emotions of others.
Yeah, that's so important for building strong relationships.
Now, let's talk about another really crucial element of personal growth, cultivating self-love.
Okay.
Self-love is about accepting yourself fully, flaws and all.
Right.
It's about treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and respect.
So it's like giving ourselves that big warm hug.
Yes.
Accepting ourselves for who we are.
And it's not about being narcissistic or self-centered.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing your own worth and value
Yeah.
and treating yourself accordingly.
So it's about being our own best friend.
Yes.
Our biggest cheerleader.
And self-love is the foundation for everything else in your life. When you love yourself, you're more confident, more resilient, more likely to take risks, and more likely to attract healthy relationships.
So it's not a luxury. It's a necessity.
Now, let's talk about another really important aspect of personal growth. Finding your purpose. Your purpose is your reason for being.
Yeah.
It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's what gives your life meaning. It's what makes you feel fulfilled.
Finding our purpose is like discovering our unique contribution to the world.
Yes.
Our own special song to sing.
And finding your purpose is a journey. It's not a destination. It's about exploring your passions, your interests, your values, your strengths.
Right.
It's about trying new things, experimenting, and following your curiosity.
So it's about being open to new possibilities and trusting that the path will unfold.
And remember, your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It can be anything that brings you joy and makes you feel alive.
So big or small, as long as it lights us up.
Now, let's talk about another crucial element of personal growth, taking action. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't take action, it's meaningless.
Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's that bridge between where we are and where we want to be.
Exactly. So make a commitment to take action, even if it's just one small step. Break down your goals into manageable chunks and take one step at a time.
So it's about making consistent progress, even if it's just a little bit each day.
And remember, action creates momentum. The more you do, the more you'll want to do. So get started. Even if you're not sure where to begin, the first step is always the hardest.
Yeah.
But once you take it, the rest will follow.
So it's about overcoming that initial inertia and getting the ball rolling.
Now, let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth, Celebrating your wins.
Yes.
It's so easy to focus on what we haven't accomplished yet, but it's equally important to acknowledge and celebrate our successes, no matter how small.
Celebrating our wins is like giving ourselves a pat on the back, recognizing how far we've come.
Exactly. And celebrating your wins doesn't have to be a big production. It can be something as simple as taking a few moments to reflect on your accomplishments, sharing your good news with a friend, or treating yourself to something you enjoy.
So it's acknowledging that progress and giving ourselves credit for our efforts.
And here's a little secret. Celebrating your wins actually boosts your motivation and inspires you to keep going. So make it a habit to celebrate your successes, both big and small.
It's like giving ourselves a reward for a job well done,
Yes.
which fuels our desire to keep striving.
Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for personal growth, affirmations.
Okay.
Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself, almost to reprogram your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
It's a way of replacing that negative self-talk with those empowering beliefs.
Affirmations are like those little seeds of positivity we
Exactly.
plant in our minds, and over time, they grow into these powerful beliefs that shape our reality.
Choose affirmations that resonate with you. Write them down, repeat them daily, and watch how they transform your thoughts, feeling, and actions.
It's like giving ourselves a pep talk,
It is.
but on a much deeper level.
And remember, the more you repeat those affirmations, the more you'll start to believe them. And the more they'll become your reality.
It's like we're rewiring our brains
You are.
for success and happiness.
Now let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth, building your confidence. Confidence is that belief in yourself and your abilities. It's what allows you to take risks, pursue your dreams, and achieve those goals.
Confidence is like an inner spark that ignites our action.
Yes.
It propels us forward.
And building confidence is a journey. It's not a destination. It's about taking small steps, challenging yourself, and celebrating your successes.
So it's stepping outside that comfort zone and proving to ourselves that we can do it.
Exactly. Start by identifying areas where you lack confidence.
Okay.
What are you afraid of? What do you doubt yourself about? Once you've identified those areas, start taking small steps to challenge those fears.
So it's about facing our fears head on,
Yes.
proving to ourselves that we're stronger than we think we are.
Exactly. And remember, confidence is built through action. The more you do, the more confident you'll become. So start taking action, even if it's just a small step.
It's like a muscle.
It is.
The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for personal growth. Gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of focusing on what you're thankful for. It's appreciating the good in your life, even when things are tough.
Gratitude is like a magnet for positivity.
Yes.
It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have.
Exactly. And when you practice gratitude, you actually train your brain to focus on the positive, which in turn attracts more positivity into your life.
So gratitude is not just a feel-good emotion. It's like a powerful tool
It is.
for creating a better life.
And there are so many ways to practice gratitude. You can keep a gratitude journal, write thank you notes, or simply take a few moments each day to reflect on what you're thankful for.
So it's about making it a conscious practice.
Exactly. It's a habit that you cultivate daily.
Yeah.
And here's a little secret. The more you practice gratitude, the more you'll find to be grateful for. It's like a snowball effect. So start small and watch your gratitude grow.
It's about shifting our perspective from scarcity to abundance.
Now let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth. Forgiveness.
Okay.
Forgiveness is the act of letting go of anger, resentment, bitterness towards yourself or others.
Forgiveness is like releasing a heavy weight that we've been carrying for far too long.
Exactly. And when you hold on to that anger, you're only hurting yourself. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
So forgiveness is ultimately an act of self-love and self-care.
Exactly. And remember, forgiveness doesn't mean that you're condoning the other person's actions. It simply means that you're choosing to let go of the negative emotions that are weighing you down.
It's about releasing ourselves from the prison of the past.
Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for personal growth, meditation.
Okay.
Meditation is the practice of quieting the mind and focusing on the present moment. It's a way of training your attention and developing a sense of inner peace.
Meditation is like giving our minds a much-needed vacation
Yes.
from the constant chatter of the world.
Exactly. And there's so many different types of meditation, so you can find one that resonates with you. Some people find it helpful to focus on their breath, others prefer to use guided meditations, and still others find it helpful to meditate on a mantra or a specific object.
So it's about finding a practice that works for us
Yes.
and that we can stick with.
And the benefits of meditation are numerous. It can reduce stress, improve focus, increase self-awareness, and develop a sense of inner peace.
It's like hitting the reset button for our minds and bodies.
Now, let's talk about another important aspect of personal growth: building healthy relationships.
Okay.
Relationships are essential for our well-being.
Yeah.
They provide us with love, support, connection, and a sense of belonging.
Relationships are like the nourishing vitamins that keep us healthy.
Exactly. And building healthy relationships takes effort.
It does.
It requires communication, empathy, compromise, and a willingness to be vulnerable.
So it's about being our authentic selves and being open to receiving love and support.
And remember, healthy relationships are reciprocal. It's not just about what you can get from the relationship, it's also about what you can give.
So it's about being a good friend
Yes.
and a good receiver of friendship.
Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for personal growth: setting boundaries.
Boundaries, yes.
Boundaries are essential for protecting your time, energy, and well-being. It's about knowing what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not, and communicating that clearly to others.
Boundaries are like those invisible fences that protect our personal space
Yes.
and our energy.
Exactly. And setting boundaries doesn't mean that you're being selfish or uncaring.
Mhm.
It simply means you're respecting yourself and your needs.
So it's about putting our own oxygen mask on first.
Exactly. And remember, setting boundaries takes practice. It's okay to start small. Maybe you say no to just one extra thing this week, or set aside 30 minutes each day for yourself without any distractions. It's okay to start small and gradually work your way up to setting bigger boundaries.
It's like anything else, you know?
Yeah.
It's a muscle, and you got to work at it.
Now let's wrap up with a few final thoughts. We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
but the key takeaway is this: personal growth is a journey.
Yeah.
It's something that we all have the power to choose. It's about taking ownership of our lives, setting goals that inspire us, and taking consistent action to achieve those goals.
It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves, not for anyone else, but for us.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Every step you take towards your goals, no matter how small, is a victory. So celebrate those wins, learn from your mistakes, and never give up on your dreams.
This has been such an insightful and inspiring deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for personal growth. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, you have the power within you to create the life that you desire. So embrace the journey and become the best version of yourself.
That's a wrap on another incredible deep dive. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring. If you did, be sure to share it with your friends and family. And if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover in future episodes, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep diving deep.